All right.
All right.
Sounds good. I want to welcome to the show members of Electric Child. Guys, thanks for coming.
Thank you for having us.
Got to get on that mic. Guys all on the mic?
Yeah.
All right,
we're good.
All right, good.
Yeah, you got to get on it. Sorry about that. I'll crank it up here a bit. But.
Yeah, you just got to get closer to the mic. We're good.
Yeah. We're close.
All right, way to go, guys. So I just want to ask you guys, where did you guys get the name of the band from? Where did that come from?
I was actually in Hawaii, and I was driving. I was in the Big Island of Hawaii, and I was trying to think up of a cool band name, and it just came to me, just randomly driving, and I don't know. I think like Electric Child is like a different type of person. It's not your average person. It's like a special person that's just like it's kind of like the black sheep of the family or does their own thing. You know, it's not like a strict person that follows all the guidelines. It's like a special electric child. You know, so that's what.
So that's where it came from.
Yeah.
Good. So how long have you guys been together for?
This lineup for about 2 years. I started the band in like 2008 with a different lineup, and then I met Andreas and Mike about 2 years ago, and then Shane is pretty new, a couple months in the band, and yeah.
So he's the guy that has to get all the beer and everything, and do all that stuff, do the laundry.
Yeah.
You guys got kicked out of the laundry now. I've seen that picture.
Yeah.
Well, hang on just for a second, Andreas and Shane. Why don't you guys say something over there so we could make sure we got you picked up on the mics over there? All right.
Hello.
Wow, that sounds pretty good.
Oh, that's good. Sounds good.
A little sound check there.
Yeah, we just want to make sure everybody out there could hear these guys because when we first saw these guys at the House of Blues back in September, they pretty much blew us away. I mean, they opened up for a couple bands, Steel Panther, and I will say this, you guys were probably the best band that was on that stage that night. So
thank you.
That's why we had to have you guys in here, okay?
Thanks.
So how did how did you meet these guys? Just out and about walking Sunset Boulevard looking for band members and...
Well, I was kind of like a couple years ago, like I put together Electric Child with a couple friends and it didn't work out, and I was kind of like depressed going, oh man, I can't find any good people to play with and stuff, and so I started jamming with my other drummer, Mike, back in the day, and I was just, putting ads on Craigslist, and... we were putting ads on Craigslist, and Andreas answered the ad, and so he was like real forward with me. He was like, "Hey man, I think I want to go for it, let's jam and stuff." And I was like working a lot and stuff, so I was just like, "Oh, okay, man, let's get together." So we met in Santa Monica,
The British place.
That British place, the rehearsal studio in Santa Monica. It's a really cool rehearsal studio. And we jammed that time, and I was like, oh, yeah, that's pretty cool. And so we had, like, a drummer, a guitarist, and it was just, like, us three. And then we found another bass player and had a bunch of bass players. And then we met Mike, like, shortly after we met Andreas.
I actually have a funny story regarding how we met on Craigslist, too. I think Mike put out an ad.
Yeah, this was right after I left this other band after I moved out here from Boston, and then I wrote out this long Craigslist about I'm sick of bands pussyfooting around, and then basically I don't know, Andy, you responded to me. I forget how you responded though.
Yeah, you know what? I answered your ad twice because I forgot that I answered it already.
That's right.
And I think we were both a little,
inebriated.
Yeah, that's why it made it confusing, and I think that's why I answered it twice.
We kept answering it. We kept replying at 3 a.m.
Well, it almost sounds like if you guys don't have a name for your new album when you guys release your first...
it's called Craigslist.
It's called Craigslist, yeah. I think that's the way to go, man.
Yeah, that'd be the name of the new record. That's a great idea.
Yeah.
I think that was Craig's original name for the band, too.
Craigslist?
Yeah.
Until he went to Hawaii and started driving around, right?
Yeah.
So Shane's the newest member in the band. How'd you meet Shane?
We actually met him through
Craigslist?
We actually met him through a friend. We actually befriended a really cool guy named Sebastian. He met us around end of August. We met him through a friend, and he came to our show at the Viper Room, and we started hanging out with him. And he's like, "Oh, I have a friend, that's moving out from Florida that really wants to play music and stuff, and he's going to come move out here, and we parted ways with our last bass player. So we're like, oh yeah, man, that'd be awesome. If he's coming out here, we'll try him out and see what happens. And it turned out to be a good fit. So
Yeah, Shane's actually a multi-instrumentalist. So
yeah.
Is he?
How so, man? What instruments do you play, Shane?
I play piano, guitar, drums. Well, not drums. I play a little bit of drums.
So you guys, are you guys incorporating that into the new material you guys are writing?
Yeah, we're gonna slowly start
That's a good idea.
covering everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, as a band, are you guys all writing together, or does somebody bring something to the table and say, hey, this is what I have, and work from there, or are you guys bringing multiple ideas at once and then trying to put something together? So how does that work for you guys?
Kind of everything. Well, at least like one of us will at least have some riff or some lyrical idea or something to bring to the table, and then we'll either jam on it or we'll sit down and just kind of acoustically work it out and then kind of show it to everyone. It just kind of depends.
if we have a really good hook or riff, then we'll try and come up with a really awesome melody. And once we got those two things down, then we know we're on track to writing a good song. At least in our opinion.
What was the first song you wrote?
Ever?
Well, I mean,
As
I
a
have
band
the only
or-
4 songs I know are the ones that are on the EP. So out of those 4, I mean, they're all great, but I mean, which one was one of the first ones?
As Electric Child, it was probably. I think it was actually it was Katrina. I brought that over from the last band I was in.
Okay.
Was that song? I wrote that song, like all the instruments, and that was like the first song I wrote that we still incorporate in Electric Child. But yeah.
So what's the band's experience been like? You guys are all from Los Angeles. You play mostly in Los Angeles, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
So what's your experience on the strip so far? Good, bad,
Indifferent.
Could be yeah, I mean,
Frustrated.
Yeah.
It's good and bad playing on the strip. It's great because there's a lot of rock fans there, so it's the place you have to play and be, because playing rock music, which is awesome. So a lot of good crowds there and stuff. But it's also bad in a sense that people just want you to sell tickets a lot, to a bunch of these gigs and stuff, and it's hard if you don't have a huge, massive following, then it's hard to have to pay to play and do all that stuff. It just becomes like Disneyland. It's like you go pay for your tickets to play at the Whiskey, and you see 7 days a week you see bands going in the Whiskey, and then they'll play there once and be like, hey, I played at the Whiskey, it's so much fun, and then they never play there again, or they might play there once or something. But it's hard to we just getting to a level where we're getting cool shows, and we don't have to pay to play that much anymore, which is
That's
nice,
the way to
but,
go. Yeah. I was going to mention you guys opened up for Slash a couple of months ago.
Up for Slash
And Foxy Shazam too.
Yeah.
So how are those two bands?
Those bands were cool.
Because we had Foxy Shazam on the show. And
Oh, you
I was
did?
kind of curious about those guys. What were they like?
They were actually really cool with us. They were really, really cool, and they were.
I think their bass player, we had all kind of just, wandered around the Celebrity Theater, and we saw Slash play afterwards, and just all kind of, hung out and just, shot the breeze.
Sounds tactful.
So what's it like though? You guys are on the strip, and all of a sudden you get an opportunity to play with those guys, or especially Slash, who's an icon at least in the hard rock, heavy metal genre of music, guitar-wise, and on the Sunset Strip. So, I guess I'll ask you, Andreas, what was that like for you? Because I'm sure that's probably one of the guitar players that you probably looked up to and idolized a little bit.
Yeah, definitely. I remember when I was a really young kid, my mom was actually a big Guns N' Roses fan. We had a VHS tape. It was called Welcome to the Videos.
Okay.
And it was the first time I had actually seen Guns N' Roses, and everyone talks about seeing November Rain, that video, for the first time, or all the other famous tunes. And so for me to have our band open for like a legend, pretty much, because that guy's a legend in hard rock circles, and it was cool, man. He was a really nice guy backstage, really, really cool. You wouldn't think that, at least maybe I didn't think that he was going to be so down to earth, and he was talking about how he was feeling jet lagged, and just really, really normal stuff.
I think when you finally get to meet I guess what you could say, an idol or somebody you look up to, and they actually come across that way down to earth or not much different than you are.
Yeah.
It makes it a lot easier.
It's definitely a human connection kind of thing.
Human connection type of thing. Whereas if you meet somebody that you've looked up to and go, wow, this guy's great, and you meet them and they're just a complete ass, and you're like, I mean, after all that time I spent looking up to you and just marveling at whatever it is that you're doing, whether it's an actor, a musician, or whatever. I mean, because I've heard the same thing about Slash. Get a chance to meet him, he's down to earth, and he's like, it's almost like you could just hang out with the guy, talk to him for a half hour, 40 minutes.
Definitely.
Yeah. Well, you guys met Aerosmith too, right?
Yeah.
So
I was
like?
laughing because Steven Tyler is exactly like that. Like he's exactly how you think he is. He's super hyperactive, but super down to earth, super cool. Like I might actually tell you a story or a couple stories about him because it was kind of a cool. Andy and I got to spend quite a bit of time with him because we were finishing up at Nightbird Studios and he was there that day. And so we just hung out with him for an afternoon. It was really cool, and he was keeping one of his cars at the hotel there because he was remodeling his house in the Hollywood Hills. And he was showing us his car. He has the Hennessy Venom or whatever. It's got like 1,200 horsepower, and he's like revving the engine and stuff. And he asked me to like put the hatch down back with him because he turned the car off. And so I'm dropping the hatch slowly. It's like, be careful, it's $1 million car. And he's like, Craig, hold on till I tell you. And I'm like, don't screw this up. And so as I drop the hatch on my side, it makes like nails on the chalkboard sound. And I'm like, what the heck happened? I'm like, what did I do to Steven Tyler's car? And he's like, oh man. He's like, you should have I should have told you, but you got to open the passenger door to close the hatch. Which makes no sense on $1 million car. You'd think that the hatch and the side door are like separate entities. Yeah. Instead of having connected, you spend $1 million on a car, they should be able to close, separately. And so I did a hairline scratch on the inside of his car. But he's like, it's all right, man. I've done it before. And he was really cool. And then he couldn't figure out how to cover the car, so we had to cover the car for him. It was kind of classic.
I think one cool thing he said about that when we were helping with that, he was like, write a few good songs, you can have one too.
Yeah, a car just like that one.
Yeah, but I don't think you guys will be buying that particular car if you guys get your first $1 million, will you?
I know. Probably, maybe something a little less expensive.
All right.
So you guys are working at Nightbird Studios right now on some new material, right?
Yep.
So is it going to be different from what we've heard on the EP right now?
It's going to be pretty much the same style, a lot more like vocal melodies and like bigger choruses.
Okay.
Kind of like back to like Def Leppard and Bon Jovi, because now that we have like everyone in the band sings, so we're able to really
utilize all that.
Yeah,
too.
this huge, massive.
You have a piano player now too.
Yeah. Yeah.
So how many songs are you looking to put a record out pretty soon, or just
we just
EP?
recorded one song right now, and then we're actually going to start a Kickstarter program. So
what actually is that?
Kickstarter?
Yeah, what's a Kickstarter program?
I've never heard of Kickstarter.
No.
Kickstarter is a website where you can generate money to help pay for recording costs and stuff. Fans and people donate money.
Okay, that's right. Because another band that we've had on the show, Cave,
is doing the
that,
same thing too.
But I don't think it was called Kickstarter. Maybe it was. Maybe
there's
I just
a
read
couple
it
of them. That's like the most famous one.
Yeah, I saw it on Reverb Nation. They were doing it on Reverb Nation.
Yeah. So how much money are you guys thinking that you guys need to pull together to sit there and put together the album that you guys want to put together?
It's going to be,
or I guess I should ask this:
well, how much would it?
How
cost?
much is it costing right now to go into the studio, lay the tracks down, produce it, mix it, and all that? What's the average cost on average when
the
you
average cost just to do one song like at Nightbird with a great producer like Matt Beckley we worked with, probably like, and to mix it and everything is probably like $5,000 for one song.
One song, so
yeah. To do it right, like to really do it right. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So if you just do the math, if we did it right for 9 more songs, that'd be a lot of money. But we could probably consolidate it and do
EPs
you guys could go back to the 70s and do the classic 8-track LPs that they did back in the 70s.
Yeah.
Just maybe stretch the songs out a little bit, maybe a couple 5-minute
you
songs.
just need like 8 songs.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, we're slowly trying to build about like a 10-song CD.
Okay.
just because people's attention span are shorter. So.
That's another the lead singer for Caden said the same thing. I agree and disagree, but I mean, I'm an older guy, so I mean, I like a little bit more of an intro in the songs and stuff. Maybe like 4 minutes is good. When you start going 7 minutes, 8 minutes, there better be something going on in the songs.
Yeah.
You
Our
know?
producer, like, our song Bad Girl is about 4 minutes and 30 seconds, and we chopped it to about 3:45.
Okay.
Because he's used to working with pop artists, and so which is great, because you want to keep going, you want to hear a song and want more. So I understand that view as well.
Yeah, but I guess my take on that, coming from this genre of music, I've always liked the 4.5 minute songs where you flesh it out a little bit. The riffs go a little bit longer, the fills go a little bit longer, and there's just a lot more going on there. Sometimes when they cut the songs a little bit, for me it's like I just wanted to hear some more. There could have been so much more of that song. Or you got a killer guitar riff going on, and they start fading out the end of the song, and you're just like, oh.
You guys aren't going to do that, are you?
Yeah,
You're not going
don't
to fade
do
his
that.
guitar
Man.
solo out at the end of the song.
Yeah.
All right, so you guys are going to do a acoustic song coming up in a little bit. So why don't we go out of this segment with the track off your LP? You guys want to go ahead and
which one are we playing?
We're going to play Where I Want You is the first track.
Yeah, tell us about that song.
Yeah. Why don't you go ahead and... this is your big moment here, so...
Yeah, we need to know the meaning behind this song.
You wrote it, so let's hear it.
Where I Want You is kind of about just living it up, I guess, in LA, and just going day by day and, having fun, partying, and, I don't know, I don't get too into it, but...
I don't know, Mike, you want to add to that? You got something, it looks like you got that look on your face. You got anything you want to say?
It looks like Mike's got some info for us.
Well, no, I mean, okay, what the song is really about is, it's about rock and roll, and, the song was written for, there's this one girl that someone in this room knew, where, he would just, he would basically, get anything he wanted out of her. He's got her right where he wants her. He can call her up anytime he wants him. Her. Or him. No.
What's another story then, huh?
No, just going out to party, just like, she's basically,
booty call.
Yeah.
So it's a booty call song.
You want to say booty call, you can say that.
All right. Well, I like that.
All right, that explains
that's what the song's really about.
All right, Jason, you got it queued up. We're ready to go?
Yes.
All right, this is Electric Child on the Hard Rockology Show.